Hi, I'm Dave Cohn. Welcome to our video series for Professional GBS. This is the first of 4 modules on transformation management. It's important to start with the foundations modules before you start with this one. In this session, we will cover the digital platform and automation. It's so important to run your GBS as a business. Your service managers are thinking like brand managers and ensuring the service stays relevant into the future. You are applying the best practices to ensure quality operations in planning, control, and continuous improvement. In the next 4 sessions, we will talk about transformation management. How can we look bottom up at our improvement opportunities and combine that with top-down information from our leaders, the company strategy, and external trends to ensure we can deliver on future business requirements? As a transformation leader, you can be an internal consultant and drive the same type of change like a McKinsey or an Accenture. The best-in-class GBS organizations are leading key business changes and are viewed as an equal partner by the business. In this session, we will cover a working definition of digital transformation and supporting principles, the role of a digital platform enabling end-to-end digital transformation efforts, and what to watch out for when launching automation efforts. What is digital transformation? We view it as bringing people, process, and data together. SAP is a good historical example where processes were baked into the software and people had a single place to go to input and extract information, all to drive business efficiencies. My favorite personal example is Strava, which is a social workout app. They've created a digital platform for workouts and connected me socially with my friends who also use it. It tracks my workouts using the GPS within the phone and allows me to record my data and share it with others. It's transformed my workouts by increasing my motivation via social interaction. Of course, the people part of digital transformation is often the most challenging. If you don't have buy-in by those involved, then you won't succeed. We will talk more about this in a future session. The first place it's natural to go when we think about digital transformation is the technology. I think that's because it's the fun part for many of us. But of course, we need to start with the process. Has it been streamlined? If you automate a bad process, you just get a bad process that runs faster. The best practice at the start is to review the process and redesign it if necessary to make it as efficient as possible. Value stream mapping, covered in an operations session, is a great tool to apply. This is the sequence we believe will maximize your business value. Get the process right first. I've said that a few times because it's so important. Then consider automation opportunities, such as robotic process automation and artificial intelligence. And last, determine how to best execute the remaining manual work. And perhaps you will use a business process outsourcing firm, although using a BPO is best when you've automated the work versus having them fix it for you, because they will likely keep the value for their bottom line. You can automate the straight-through process, but in most tasks, it's the exceptions and defects that consume a disproportionate amount of efforts and cost. Variation from the happy path may only be 20% of the cases, but will consume 80% of the effort. For example, I paid a bill over the phone recently, and the system repeated back every entry, and I needed to confirm it was right. A bit painful, but a good example of a system trying to avoid incorrect information on the input side. Correcting problems before they happen is one approach, but that's not always doable. So generally, you will be prioritizing the most important exceptions and seeing how to automate those. But there will be a balance where other exceptions are better handled by manual intervention. I believe finding that trade-off is more of an art than a science. Let's introduce this model for a digital platform that we will cover in the remainder of this session. This model can help you understand how the various technologies can be used. It's also a great tool when explaining to business leaders that may be less technical. Working left to right, what type of data is coming into your process? Is it structured, unstructured, text, images, or audio? We will look at systems of engagement and how routing and workflow play. We will cover decision-making, either based on rules or with human interaction. Task automation will be highlighted, and popular approaches are scripting and robotic process automation. Then there's getting your applications to talk to each other, either with APIs or an enterprise service bus. Finally, we will need a way to monitor our process and keep it optimized over time. Of course, in this short session, we will only highlight these capabilities. If this is new to you, you'll need to do a lot more research and engage experts to help you apply them. Here's a recruiting example to highlight the use of these technologies. I may be getting resumes out of a recruiting system using application programming interfaces, then scanning them with the use of optical recognition technologies, analyzing the content to determine if they have the right skills with machine learning. Routing of resumes can be achieved with workflow tools. Perhaps I would apply RPA to assist in scheduling. And finally, insights with data visualization tools. Of course, you wouldn't want to do all these at once. With any process, we typically would tackle the most beneficial ones first. As you become involved in automation efforts, keep these watchouts in mind. Paving the cow path. I grew up in a city, but I'm told cows don't walk in straight lines. If you are automating what exists today, that's likely to be inefficient. Your vendors will be pushing claims about their technologies, and we can become convinced that it's a magic bullet. It's so important to keep your eyes on the business outcomes and seek proof that the solutions can work prior to implementation. Understand the human side, both for members and users. Think about a voice recognition system that you've been frustrated by. Going for the big bang? It makes more sense to start small and build momentum. Finally, be aware of automation bias. There are interesting examples, if you Google this, about companies that based their technologies and data sets with bias built in. Be sure to review your results. Content recognition is about getting information coming into a format that is structured and digitized. Often, content needs to be pre-processed before we can use it. Capabilities include optical character recognition to turn printed pages into digital format, image recognition to identify elements within, audio recognition to turn speech to text. This one is very popular in call centers, not to mention on our phones and home devices. Data recognition to turn unstructured data to structured. So how do you give users a single place to see everything that's going on in a process. Systems of engagement software bring together information from multiple systems so a user has one interface. Popular technologies you may be aware of include Salesforce, where you can see everything about a customer you are selling, or ServiceNow, which is very popular in tracking service requests and incidents. The promise is that you can reduce cycle time with this visibility. Of course, there can be challenges. For example, make sure you can convince your target users to work within a system. There will always be times when a human must be involved, but many decisions can be done via machine learning. Although artificial intelligence has been around for a while, low-cost computing capacity, algorithm maturity, and availability of big data sets to build models are fueling the growth of machine learning. Let me mention a few of these popular use cases. Speech recognition is often powered by machine learning to assist agents to improve call management, even doing sentiment analysis to encourage the agents to listen better. Anomaly detection. This could be relevant for services teams to save time in approvals by only highlighting certain cases. Finally, service teams are building analytical models to improve companies' supply chains. Machine learning is complex. Many service teams are more successful in buying this technology embedded in software solutions versus trying to build it in-house. Robotic process automation is a hot area within task automation. Take a look at your service teams. Are people doing repetitive operations like copying information from one app to another? Or pulling and formatting reports? Then RPA has the promise to help you automate. Perhaps you can assist an agent in a call center by bringing data together from multiple screens. You'll need to decide if the bot you build will be unattended and run on a schedule or will be triggered by another process. Or perhaps it's an attended bot and will be triggered by a person to speed the completion of a task. It can work well, but it can also go wrong, especially if you automate a process you don't fully understand. As you connect your services end-to-end, you'll need application interaction technologies to enable you to share information across. APIs, or application programming interfaces, are defined rules or hooks to enable communication between apps. Another capability you may hear is an enterprise service bus, which is a layer of software that acts as a pipe that your systems can connect to. This can really help as you update apps, as you only have to rebuild one interface to the bus versus many apps that it may have served. We've covered a lot of ground in this session on technology. The final element is process monitoring and optimization. These tools can connect to your existing solutions to help you collect information about your processes for interventions and improvements. We hope you enjoyed this session in our Professional GBS series. All the best as you professionalize, modernize, and transform.